borders.
Yeah.
So you could have been born in California
No.
and be raised in Nebraska.
I'm counted in the census.
And you are still.
I'm counted in the census, Jovi,
But the
that says
census.
that I'm a Mexican American.
But that is just internally what the
No.
United States does.
When
That's
they look at
internally
you,
what the
I
United
don't care.
States
When they
does.
look at you, they think you're a Mexican. When they look at you, they think you're a Mexican. Because you're brown.
Okay.
I disagree with you, but
No, no.
let's move on.
No, I'm saying that there's a stereotypification that goes on about brown people. And that's how they're going to separate the masses, is by color.
There you go.
The whiter you are, the more acceptable you are. Because that's the dominant society. The darker you are, the more minority. Now, I don't care if you're from Nigeria or Somalia, you're still an African American, a black American. You're not an American. We have to distinguish between those two.
Yeah.
I'm an American. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let's go back to the point of this theme today, right?
Okay.
Was it immigration and the children?
Right.
And the children that are
So let's talk about the role of the cartels.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's talk about the role of the cartels in making it so dangerous in those countries that in addition to coming out and making a decent living, they're afraid of dying.
You know, you have some people that are in the cartel that they say, well, it's the supply and demand issue.
That's right.
You have a demand from the United States that they're demanding more drugs. They want more of this, so they come here.
That's right.
You know, and the drugs are going to get here however they're going to get here.
There you go.
So, and that's not to say that all the drugs are coming from Mexico, and that's not to say that all the drugs are coming from the Central American countries. You still have drugs that are coming all the way from South America. And and you still have it, and now what you're seeing is you're seeing a bridge. You're seeing some of the drugs that are coming even from countries like Peru and Ecuador and Bolivia that go to Central America countries and say, hey, you can make a pretty good buck and you could be a carrier here. So now what happens? Now you're not targeting somebody that is the typical, let's say, South American or Colombian, however you want to call it. Now you're targeting the Central Americans. And before, it used to be the Mexicans, but now you have these Central Americans that before they used to come under the radar, and now with this incident, they're not under the radar.
But are they creating a dangerous and violent atmosphere in Central America?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
But that
Perhaps-
environment is
perhaps we
also,
should talk about that. I
but
think.
that environment is also, in a lot of the areas, a result of what has happened here.
No, that's the next part. The next part is consumption.
Well,
No.
I think what
We
she's
weren't
trying
talking
to
about
say,
that.
let me see if I can get. The reason why, yes, there's violence out there. I think Honduras is the capital of murder capital of the world or something. It's more death out there than Iraq and all those places. There's a reason for that. You need to go back to the origin of this problem. 20, 30 years ago, Hispanics here in the United States, a lot of those kids were not everybody, some of those kids were involved in gangs. So they become members of the gangs and they're put in jail. And then after that, they were sent back to Central America. Then you're talking about 7,000 to 8,000 gang members from the United States. To me, it's like being educated with a title of gang. But with that information, all the information and techniques, everything else, you send them back to Central America, and that has completely destroyed those three countries. Now, I know at the same time that the United States, I believe, is using almost, I think it's about 83 or 84 million dollars, helping with that much money to take care of those problems in Central America, which is really might not be enough.
It's pennies, but
Yeah, but anyway, at least they have recognized that was a problem. You're sending graduated gang
Experts.
members, experts, to Central America,
And they take over the
and
country.
they have taken over the country.
Correct.
It is
Now.
amazing that the government in those countries, they made an agreement with them
Absolutely.
to say, okay, please don't do much of the crimes here if we can. So there's an agreement right now with some of those
Now
governments.
there's a
So question is, whose fault was it?
okay, but now Jovi, it goes back to what you're just saying that your brother, your sister, with those cartels, they got enough money to choke an elephant.
Oh yeah.
They got hundreds of dollars, okay? and you're gonna ask this guy from the world countries, in the world country, and say, come and work for me, and I'll give you this much money, or I'll kill you. Okay?
Yeah.
So now that's violence. But not only that, they want him to come and work for you because they're part of that cartel to feed the market. And the market is in the United States. It's consumption. It's consumption. So the people of the United States are complicit in creating this violent environment where it's driving these kids over here.
Indirectly, yeah.
Well, I mean, the cartels, they make a living off of. I mean, they're in Chicago. I mean, what's that MS-13? What is that?
That's El Salvador.
Right,
Salvadoran
and-
gang.
But they're what? They're drug gangs.
Some
And-
of them are, some of them are not, but they are again just the same.
They just call them gang members, no names,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, okay, so they're gang members, and somebody's feeding the drugs to the, somebody's bringing in the marijuana. And any doubt as to where that comes from?
It's a consumption and demand type of thing.
Right.
That's
But I'm saying it's part of this whole immigration issue. It's part of it. And so we are complicit if we're using these drugs that are empowering
I see what you
these
mean.
gang members in
Yeah.
in Central America.
Obviously, they're not doing it because they want to do it. They're by consuming those drugs, they're producing a market, and and someone has to.
And we're the market for cheap labor.
That's
So
it.
they tell these people, young people, I'll get you over to America. I'm a coyote, but I'm also a druggie. And I said, I'll get you over to America for $8,000.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. I'm sure there's a lot of things that's happened that is causing this situation. This crisis.
It's an ongoing
It's not only
crisis.
it's not only
I
one
think,
thing.
I think that the only reason why you see it in this huge manner is because you're talking about very small countries where when you're looking at 50,000 individuals that came out of that population, that's a big old dent. Okay, from countries that, like you said, some of them only have 2 millions, 5 millions, you know, and
That's a
when
lot
you
of-
and when you're removing that amount of people, you're
That's
going to
going
see
to affect-
something.
it's going to affect.
It's going to affect compared to maybe a country that like us that we have close to 300 million. You know, yeah, you have 50,000, but
It goes back to his question, though.
you know.
It goes back to his question. Would you send your child to America?